Hello and welcome to This Contains Garlic. You're here with your host Georgia Garlic
More garlic.
and we are back in the sunshine.
Yeah, the weather's slightly better, which is always a positive.
Always a great thing. It's taken us about 15,000 attempts to get this going because we're just trying to work out why our microphones sound a bit weird. We were listening to feedback from the last episode and it was like, it doesn't sound right. And we're obviously just like not sound engineers. So this is when we actually need somebody that is a sound engineer helping us.
I reckon I need one of those boards.
Remember last year we said that we were going to have a theme tune to this and we
A
still haven't got
jingle.
around to that.
Well, I looked on third-party websites
No,
and
Mark, you're not meant to do that.
realised
You're meant to create your own beat, not just get somebody on Fiverr to do it for you. That
It
will
will.
sound awful. I'll never forget when I'd never had any understanding of like how to do like branding and shit, and I kind of taught myself over the years. But I remember Mark paid somebody on Fiverr to do some branding stuff for the Arrow Club, and it came back. Do you not remember? And I literally had a whole breakdown.
Yeah, it was
I was
amazing.
like, why the fuck? What? It was the worst thing I think I've ever seen designed. So yeah, no, our record for Fiverr is not one that's it's not really utilised ever. To be quite honest with you, is it?
there's just too many genres of music to even decide.
I don't think it needs to be a genre of music. I just think it's got to be a theme tune of some degree.
Would you not need like a license to use that music or
What,
something like that?
Yeah, well, that's the reason why. Oh my god, if you actually saw the dog right now.
Can
Like,
you?
it's such a nightmare just recording stuff like with animals.
Can
Like,
you just,
oh my god, she looks like Mark's just telling her to go away because she always wants to sit on Mark when she's recording, and now she looks like she's just been. She looks like she's just been put
I'm
in
so
a fucking
sorry.
orphanage.
No, you can't jump up. Oh wait, no, you can. You're in the process of jumping up.
We were thinking though that it would be like quite a good idea to start filming snippets of the podcast. Not all of it. Depends whether we're going to put it on YouTube or not. But like we did a poll like ages ago as to whether our podcast listeners wanted to solely listen, to listen and watch, or just watch. That was like our thing in the sense of what people like, how do people like looking or listening to conversations.
Yeah.
And a lot of people came back and said they just like to listen, but then a high percentage also came back saying they want to watch and listen. So we might intro that in the next coming weeks. We're just
Yeah.
trying to work out the best way of doing it because there's two of us and
It's
ideally-
very complicated
Oh,
and
it's
complex
very
in the sense of like I mean,
yeah, it's like you have to be
what,
like wired
what
in
kind of
place.
quality would we shoot it in? Like 4K, and
Well,
then
60 up my nose. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
and then like how much storage do I have on my phone?
I don't really exactly look spectacular recording a podcast either. So it just like
No.
sometimes I look like I'm half
And then
out
the
of it.
setup is like how were you gonna sit facing each other and just gaze into each other's eyes whilst we discuss
We don't
numerous
gaze
topics?
into each other's eyes.
We
And
can
ever
if
on
you
this
want.
podcast.
No, it's, look,
We just,
but
let's look at each
I
other
think
right
it's
now.
a bit strange
Weird. Yeah,
looking
it's
at
a bit
each other
fucking
whilst we're
weird.
talking.
No, I feel like I'm on the spot.
Yeah, I don't like looking at you
Oh, God.
when
Okay.
we do this. I don't know why. It's just
okay,
the
you
way
just-
it is.
Yeah, because now I'm gonna get all shy. Do you know what I mean? I'm just gonna get all shy around your
Like
wonderful
when you
green
first met me.
eyes.
7% of the world.
Oh my god, 7% of the world. That's still quite a lot of the world. 7%.
Not really.
Nearly 10% of the world has got green eyes. You're not that special.
Well, you clearly don't have them, so.
No, I've got a dark hazelnut
dark,
colour.
tall, handsome,
Dark,
green eyes.
tall. I don't know
Tall.
if I'd say tall.
6
You're
foot.
6 foot on the dot. Do you know what I
Like,
mean? I would-
literally.
literally, you're scraping the barrel. Like if your fucking arches on your feet flattened just a little bit, you
Yeah,
would be
that's-
under 6 foot.
Georgia, my arches are
Arch enemies.
arched
Yeah.
up.
Well, you should go to go and get some orthotics and walk around like a pleb.
I would love for my feet to be massaged. I feel like my plantar fascia needs.
I'm honestly dreaming about being on holiday in Asia. I can't get it out of my head. We've even started watching YouTube, like not men, what the fuck? We've watched this one guy in Thailand who's like a retiree. Don't even know the word because I'll never be
Yeah.
retired. Never.
Yeah, the channel's retiree abroad or bankrupt and retired or something.
Bankrupt.
I know there's one guy called Bankrupt and something.
Why are you watching that?
No, because
Jesus,
it's a
that's
travel
good
program.
point.
It's a
No,
travel
it's a travel program. He effectively does like, there's this single, well, he's in a relationship with a Thai woman,
Yeah.
which is an interesting, yeah. And he's across in Bangkok, and he does like these, what was it, rapid fire house tours.
Well, yeah, it was him moving to settling from his nomadic life into Bangkok and looking for apartments within a certain budget of between 1,000 to 2,000 pounds a month.
3,000 on some of those.
Some of them were, I think
To
the
be fair,
vast
actually,
majority
we saw
of
one
them
that was
were
really nice. I was like, fuck, I'd live there.
Yeah, it
Like,
was
they
actually
had the
really
whole like
nice.
view on the whole of Bangkok.
1,400 square foot, 3-bathroom,
penthouse
two-bedroom
all the way round,
penthouse
balcony.
with a balcony
Yeah. Do you know what?
in
the
like
temptation
central
to do that.
Bangkok as well.
I think that the whole aim for us, we've really gone round in circles about this. And actually, at the weekend, we were like, "Oh fuck, maybe we've got so many business ideas." Sometimes I'm like, "Oh my god, it's just boring now." Like literally, it's boring. But I do think I've got it in me
Like
to live
DJ
somewhere
Khaled,
else.
another one.
Literally, another one that shit. Do you know what I mean? Literally. Stop thinking of other ideas and fucking just get on with your life. Like literally, I make my life so much harder than it needs to
Oh
be.
yeah, for sure. We really overcomplicate things.
Really overcomplicate
That is definitely something we both do. We really
overcomplicate things to the point I am a massive perfectionist, and that's a massive issue, like in so many ways. In fact, it sabotages me, which is exactly what we're talking about today.
This is the thing. It's like growing up, when I had to do homework as a child, I used to have to write the homework out first for it to then be corrected by my mother or father, and then rewrite it back into
the good book.
Yeah, the good book. Yeah, the good book.
Yeah.
It's just, you're doubling the workload for no reason.
Yeah, like, it's like one of these things of the business where like we've got like quite a successful running podcast since we've done it in the last year. We've never even utilised any of it at all, really. Like, apart from being on Spotify and like the people that tune in, listen to it, like we haven't even really shared anything from the podcast.
No, but I guess it also then comes down to like, what is your actual job? And I guess
it's so draining.
Basically,
like
this is me just
jobs,
making an excuse, but
sabotage.
The reality is like our jobs are, coaches.
Yeah, and so I always say that we've got a full-time job as it is coaching.
Yeah, your actual
yet we still
job.
want to do like other things on the side.
No,
it's
not. You don't have to. You are in a digital modern age where you've got no choice. Like,
yeah, otherwise you don't exist.
You either sink or swim.
Yeah, obviously with an online business. But I do think I want to get to the point where which I think we can do, it's just also the animal situation of, I think I've got it in me to live somewhere else. I really do. I think British people, including myself, are just so pessimistic. When we're around each other, we're just awful.
Miserable.
Like,
miserable bunch.
Miserable. Like, just honestly, I honestly, I can't excuse English or British people anymore. I just think, do you know what? This is just a bit lazy now, isn't it? We all are just a bit fucking...
entitled.
Not everybody in the UK
Not
is entitled.
No,
I say that the
but
groups that we have to hang around in, you're always going to be... I think you, as I said, you form social
Nobody's got
circles
anything nice to say in the UK, and I guess coming from Zimbabwe, where
Shut up,
we
your mum's
literally
got
had
nothing nice to say, Mark.
no, but in general, like excluding my mother, but you couldn't get anything at most parts of my teenage years, whether it was bread or petrol. So you eventually, all you have is banter and like jokes.
Oh God! Did you just say banter? That you've got banter? Okay.
No, but like as a community of people, like just getting together with what you got, as long as you're with a good group of individuals, friends or family, then
I just don't think I do think there's some
everyone's
people...
a lot more community based and a lot more like community orientated and stuff, like helping each other and stuff like that. Like I was thinking about the other day, when I was a logistics manager and I was having to offload petrol tankers, one of my friends, Mark Darrell, literally for no incentive whatsoever, went on a 4-hour car journey. We were basically gone for like 2 days, and it was just to spend time together. Like you would never,
Why are
you
you
would.
talking about
But I'm
this?
just saying, it's like it was community oriented.
Okay,
Like you're
cool.
always about.
You know what? Let's take it back to Africa where it's amazing and I don't live there.
No, it's not about.
Let's
It's
bring
not
all of the
about. No,
drawbacks.
there are obviously positive and benefits, but like when it comes to a group of individuals as a community, it's a lot more welcoming and nurturing than your average, like especially where we've moved to, everyone wants to talk about is how much money they've got. Or like, look at my Porsche. Can I tell you how many brake horsepower it is? So like, I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's so boring. Like, I don't get, like, I think nice things are lovely. Like, I love nice things, do you know what I mean? Like, when I've got the money and I want to spend it, I will spend it on nice things, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, let's be honest, most people would,
But don't let it
I just
define your
can't be
character,
arsed.
though.
It's so boring when people have to tell you about it. And I almost think, like, people that, well, maybe not actually, because I know multiple people that have told you about it and they're really wealthy. But a lot of people just always, like, their car is their image, or they're like, it's just like, fuck's sake, what happens when it breaks
Even when
down?
you just walk past people, they don't even smile. They just look at you with disdain, like you've slapped their mothers.
I sometimes think you look like a bit of a yob, to be quite honest with you.
No,
Mark.
I
That's the
appreciate
reason
that,
why.
and I've
You're
people.
in a fucking Canada Goose gilet, do you know what I mean? Stomping around in sliders and socks. You look like you're about to attack them with a machete, or you're
Good.
fucking smoking a large joint.
They,
Even better.
I'd rather be feared than loved.
Feared than loved. Really?
I don't know. I
don't know.
go through swings of
I just
emotions.
think people think I'm quite scary as it is.
Yeah, me too.
So one of my clients said to me the other day, she said that she's really anti-Botox, like really anti-Botox. And like we were discussing just like duration. She said to me, she was like, do you have Botox? And I was like, I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, yeah, I do dabble a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like I use my face a lot. I'm very expressive and I train really fucking hard, which means I'm going to age just quicker on my face in the sense of movement. And I just like it. I don't do it for anybody else. I do it for myself. And she said to me that that she was listening to a debate, like on research and stuff that's been done with Botox, to say that women that have Botox have like zero sense of sharing any kind of empathy with their face. So like if you talk, when a human meets another human, normally our facial expressions will be the first things to react before like what we speak or what we say. So apparently those with Botox, you can't differentiate if somebody's like, oh, okay, hello, or like, I don't like you, or you know what I mean? And I was like, wait, actually, maybe that's the reason why I look like I've got a resting bitch face half the time. I don't know. Like, do you remember that person that messaged us on Instagram that said, why does Georgia never smile? And I almost was like, but I swear I have, every time you've seen me, I've smiled, like on like, I've tried. And I thought, oh my God, do you want me to smile and laugh whilst I'm exercising? I'll look like I'm psychotic. Do you know what I mean? People that, like girls that fucking film themselves laughing in their training sessions, like smiling to camera, I just don't know.
It's just so vain and narcissistic with that whole like.
If they had any understanding of ribcage breathing,
joke,
they wouldn't be doing that.
little joke giggle before I get into sharing a salad recipe with you.
No, not that. It's like then it's like a squat down, knee tuck.
Oh yeah, then when they exercise and then they pretend like the set that they've just done is the most intense thing that they've ever completed in their life, and their like legs are wobbling and shaking.
Oh God, it's just so boring. And you know what? Like it just makes
like, okay.
Sometimes in my head I think, oh my God,
those kilo dumbbells look really intense.
What the who looks?
Oh no, I saw it came up on my explore feed, and I guess the algorithm is just showing me things just to irritate me because it knows that it's where my weakness is, which is just shit exercise selection or somebody doing a combination exercise with like lying on their back with a 3 kilo dumbbell.
Me, no, shut up. Don't say that. Don't lie to people. You said to me the other week that you looked at my explore feed and you were like, you really need to get some like fighting and stuff in there. That's what you said, okay?
Yeah.
So please stop pretending that you've got some hit trainer fucking rolling across the floor. You like look at like beastie men with like MMA fighting and just people like
John
having
Jones.
fights, and then you complain that the
No,
algorithm is showing you
because
things to anger you.
no, it makes me angry when not angry. I sound,
What the
but
fuck
it just
is wrong
triggers
with you?
me.
I think you should get off social media, you sociopath. Do you know what I mean?
I would love to.
What?
No, it just irritates me because it's just like I find it so.
So sad that you just like have to like.
I just like proper exercise selection and those combination exercises where people just do like a pulse 3 times. You know what I mean, and say that that's gonna build strength. It's like no, it's not.
Well, one could say it isolates the.
No, it's not.
I'm
Like
fucking joking.
I know
Here we
you're just
go.
trying to.
Let's
There
just
you
make
go.
fucking
There you go.
angry.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, Mark and his fucking ex. You still can't spell that. You can't probably spell exercise selection, but you can fucking bitch about it non-stop.
Yeah, well.
You're like that. I can spell exercise selection, Georgia.
My spelling's not great, no.
Yeah, well, we need to live and learn, seeing as you're getting 1 year older in a few days' time. And you need to stop sabotaging yourself from seeing a result with your spelling, Mark. And today we're talking about
self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage.
Good section into that.
What do you mean?
I think my disdain for spelling, when I self-analysed myself, arose from when I was in grade 2, and that our teacher
did you go in
used
the car again with somebody for 4 hours? Do you know what I mean? Just to spend time with each other.
You just.
Do you know what we did? We used to like go to the cinema and like sit there and just have like normal children.
What? What did you?
Instead, as a child, you sat in the car. Pretty much, that's literally what's your childhood. No, even if you go back, I remember in grade 2, I just think, here we go again.
Oh, here we go again. Mark's having an experience. Let's just
having a moment.
Let's just shoot it down like Georgia always does.
I'll shoot you down with my biceps if you're not careful.
Huh? Your biceps.
Don't be horrible. Don't.
I'm so tempted to be mean to you right now.
Why? Because I'll tell you
dismiss
cooking shit that you've been doing
you
recently
dismiss
as well.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, here we go. Do you see how it hit
Right,
hard?
now we're gonna have an
Yesterday you
argument.
complimented that you just didn't understand how hard my arms were. Do you know what I mean? And now you're about to talk down to me.
The only thing that's as hard as your arms is
fucking life.
your legs, obviously. Your mind's in a gutter.
Oh yeah, okay. Says the one that you'd probably thrust your willy into me at any point, to be quite
Any
honest.
given moment of the day, I'm ready to go.
One of my clients had this recent like ovary scare kind of like this situation, which, just a reminder, if you're a woman listening to this and you haven't had a smear test or anything like that, go and get one done. That was not a government announcement, that was a Georgia announcement. Anyway, she said that her husband, she obviously has not been in the mood for any kind of sexual activity, and her husband just keeps on trying, and she's just like, do you not fucking understand? I've got a cyst on me. The last thing I want is anything more around me. Do you know what I mean? Or in me, like literally.
Yeah, well, it's.
But men are just like, I'll just thrust it there just in case.
I could try and pull it out for you.
In your mouth, do you know what I mean? Just catch it in the mouth.
I'd pull it out for you.
This is the thing, like Mark said the other day, Mark locked me out the car the other day, and the only way I got him to open the car was, I'll give you a blowjob, do you know what I mean? And he opened the car immediately, and I was like, see, that worked. Like literally, I was like, you're never getting a blowjob.
No.
Never.
Ever.
Literally, because I'm going to sabotage you. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. Let's take it back a few steps.
Yeah. Back to my story when I was in grade 2, or
back to your fucking story in grade 2.
yeah,
okay?
but every time I got to listen to you bang on about you doing Duke of, Prince Andrew, whatever you did. Georgia you did more than 10,000 steps one day outside, and it's like the most hardship.
No, I'm not going to
that
argue
you
that.
had
Go and just do some
literally-
research on
You
it.
went camping for 4 days, and it was like you literally climbed Mount Everest backwards.
I never bring that up. I just said I didn't want
Every
to do it at a certain
time.
age. My parents bring it up. I don't give a fuck.
There's
I just
not-
wish people would recognise it more, because they said the only reason you would do that is
All you
because
did
put it
was
on your
just
CV.
went for a long walk.
How about, Mark, you've got no understanding of how British system runs because you're
soft.
British. No, I'm just saying
Soft,
I wouldn't have done
pampered.
it. I wasn't saying it was hard. I was saying I didn't want to do it. There's two very different things there. When I was a child or a teenager, I didn't want to walk
Yeah,
up a
but
fucking mountain in Wales. I didn't want
we
to
have
camp.
to endure the
Because my
story.
parents took me to 5-star hotels.
Oh,
I
here
didn't
we
want
go.
to get into a tent on a
Let's
mat.
go. Yes,
There
please
we
tell me the
go.
story one more time.
But
I
you just
haven't
brought it up.
recounted it
You know,
numerous times.
I just hope you jump out the window in between. There's a window behind you. Just open it and jump. No, you just brought up Duke of Edinburgh. When
I
did
know.
I last
I'm
bring
just saying.
My parents bring it up as the time.
All
which
the
is just-
time.
yeah, well, why don't you bring
We
up
got
your
to
anger with everything
No,
to
but
do with the
when I
British
try and-
system to my
No,
British
I just want to
parents whilst
relive
you
a
leave
story
the
that
country?
just want to relive a story that founded and formed my nature versus nurture into my adult life based off my spelling. But you're just not interested.
Well, you got there, but then you ditched.
You
then
didn't.
You
I
started
ditched it because
dissing-
you just are like,
you
shut the
started
fuck
No,
up.
you didn't. You dissing fucking Duke of Edinburgh. That's why we've got onto the subject. Let's
Yeah.
go back to grade 2. So Mark can take himself back to
Yeah,
nurturing
exactly.
Africa, which had no electricity, and he didn't have any
Thank
food
you.
for fucking years on end, and his
Thank you.
parents beat him up, literally.
Yeah, thank you for acknowledging that.
No, I'm fucking joking. That is literally, Mark was the most privileged out of all of his brothers and the age he was brought up in Africa. His parents will say exactly the same
Yeah.
thing, and you literally act like you sat in the petrol queue for the longest.
I did.
Why don't you speak to
my
Richard
brother.
Garlick, and then we'll have a
No,
conversation.
he's being,
Exactly. Mark is very entitled and very spoiled as a little
Entitled?
African boy. Yes, you are. And you wouldn't have married somebody just equally as entitled and such a smart ass as me if you weren't. Do you know what I mean? So you honestly think that, like, I picked you out of a township? Like, genuinely?
Well, you
No,
know, some people
you-
would say Harare
How did
is
you
a
have the
bit of a-
opportunity to come to the UK in the first place? Do you think many people have the opportunity to do that?
I
Oh, don't.
I
When
trekked.
I was a logistics
I
manager.
I trekked all the way from Harare. I walked.
Fuck off, you wouldn't even cycle to school so you wouldn't sweat. Don't even fucking lie, you such a lie. You make yourself out to be, like, honestly, like the driest boy. Like, honestly, like, Mark wouldn't even cycle to school. He refused.
Yeah,
He'd,
conserve
like,
my
throw
energy.
his bike away and, like, fucking,
No, I let my tyres down.
You are so spoiled. You are so spoiled. And your parents, like, get so annoyed. I see it. You honestly believe that Mark was honestly from a Red Cross advert. Like, genuinely,
Yes.
that's what
Thank
we
you.
all think you were.
Yeah,
So
loincloth.
let's take us back to the time that you nurturing yourself in Africa in grade 2. As to why your spelling has always become an issue. Did someone tell you you weren't very
No,
good at
the lady
spelling?
used to hit us.
Oh,
She used to
God,
give us
but-
sweets on our knuckles
So why?
and hit us with a
Cool,
ruler.
but you like watching people fight, so why don't you get on with that?
Because it used to happen to me all the time, and then I just grew a negative mental barrier towards spelling. Because it used to make me I used to get confronted by the fact that I wasn't very good at it, and then the lady used to,
Well, I'll whack you if you want, if you're going to get better.
oh, that sounds
No.
quite. That's
I reckon
well,
we've got it
maybe
in us for an OnlyFans,
yeah, you
but
can
it's got to
spank
be
me.
something quite unique.
What
I
would
think
you
something
spank me
like-
with? Like
Like a celery stick or something.
Oh no, something harder than that. You need like a.
Oh my God, you're actually
A
getting
wooden
into the
spoon.
way that I just thought. I'll whack you around the head with a frying pan if you want. Do you know what I mean? If it's that kind of way inclined. I was thinking maybe use like long vegetables or something, like, because we like micronutrients and micro penises and I don't know.
Micro, yeah, we could use an aubergine.
That's a little bit of a wide girth, an
Just-
aubergine. That is a very wide girth. Mark's actually biting his lips as I talk about this. If you could see, and this is why we don't video.
Just
'cause I think
shove it
it's
in there.
Shove it in there. Do you know what I mean? That is what I'm married to. Shove it in there. Do you know what I mean? And then you actually think that when you thrust up behind me, I want you to shove it in there.
I'm a bit creepy when it comes to you, aren't I?
But you actually know that. You are a fucking
Yeah,
creep.
it is a bit creepy.
Yeah, you just... Anyway, today we're actually going to talk about not Mark being
Are we?
Greek. Are we actually going to
Are we going to talk about self-sabotaging?
Yeah, well, we're just self-sabotaging ourselves right now as we speak. No, today we're going to talk about a subject which I think is... it's in so many elements of life. I don't think it's always in the element of like health and fitness, But I think it is the thing that we always place as probably the biggest hurdle in most people's journeys or journeys into self-care or consistently doing self-care. And that's not a facial, I mean like exercise, nutrition, mental health things. Do you know what I mean? Not fucking going and having a facial and a massage, because nobody sabotages themselves for that. But more often than not, we are our biggest hurdle, I think. And it's a subject that comes up in serious and not so serious situations, but it's something that a lot of people do on a day-to-day basis, in order to, I don't know, like, there's many reasons why somebody would self-sabotage, and I think we've also got to pick up examples here as to like what we mean by self-sabotaging. So I think if we picked up the fact of,
I think the best way to do it, and the most
there we go,
practical,
grade 2.
most practical way of doing it is provide real life scenarios of
Yeah, that's
like
what you're supposed
how.
to do, but we'll just repeat it, just like you had to repeat into
Well,
your
you
good
were
book.
just stumbling around with your words there. I just felt like I had to come and eloquently tie the sentence together so we can progress this in a.
Oh my god, just keep jumping, honestly. Just keep jumping.
So what would you say would be one of the most common scenarios where you have either personally experienced self-sabotage or seen a client self-sabotage?
Well, I'm not going to lie, I see clients self-sabotage on a daily basis, and that's what we help people navigate, to understand and see when it's happening, to then, I guess, overcome it, and to find strategies to either replace that self-sabotaging behaviour or turn it into something that is beneficial. But I think a prime example would be probably when it comes to food in general. I think a lot of people, actually recently had a client who's on a weight loss journey, and actually was finding herself to be the one to blame, in the sense of like, she was eating out a lot, she couldn't necessarily control her food intake. Even though she didn't need to eat out, it was almost like she had the fear of kind of prepping meals or doing anything with losing comfort of food or losing the social aspect of food. And she found herself effectively self-sabotaging to like inviting people out for dinner or going to restaurants, even though she didn't need to go there, just in a ways that would effectively stop her seeing the progress or that she needed or wanted to see. And I think that's just one element of it, but it happens a lot. It's like when you've been really good throughout the week and then you get to the weekend and you're like, fuck it, nothing matters now. You know what I mean? It's me against me. And then you literally just sabotage yourself. And that happens so frequently, and it's literally known that like over 75% of grown-up adults can't manage their calorie intake versus expenditure on a weekend. It's literally statistically proven that the weekends prove a massive issue in people's routines, because maybe this has changed a little bit since like the pandemic, where we've spent a huge amount more time in our own environment rather than out and about. But I would say that it's getting there, maybe back to it a little bit, but like you used to go into the office Monday to Friday or into a location for work, and then you would leave that working job or your circadian rhythm Monday to Friday, and you'd go out on the weekend and you'd like fuck it off, and you'd be like, great, my routine's gone, I love it, I hate the routine of a Monday to Friday, so come the weekend I'm just gonna fuck it off. But the reality is, I think since COVID has happened, it's now all merged into one. So like any day is acceptable really to like, I do find a lot of people are like, oh, I didn't even realise it's a Tuesday, do you know what I mean? And it's just like life is ticking over, but every chance that they've got, they sabotage themselves to, whether it's drinking alcohol, like too much alcohol, whether it's consuming food like excessively, whether it's not sleeping properly and purposely doing it to yourself. I think overall.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. I think
Great.
the weekend is one of the biggest hurdles for people when it comes to self-sabotaging, and I think for some people it can be conscious, for most people probably subconscious. And I think like you said, touching on the changing in the schedule, the changing in sleep wake cycle, the changing in, social environments, and just sometimes people just don't want to make those tough decisions during the weekends, and those can sometimes come back to self-sabotage you later and later down the line, where you know there has been meals out, there has been more palatable food consumed and stuff like that, which, if you are looking to lose a large amount of weight, is that going to be a hurdle in your overall journey that can potentially steal motivation from you later down the line? Then
I do
there's
think it's
arguments
quite
for that.
important to say that, I've got two takes on this, because I think when you bring in things like, oh, you shouldn't restrict your food, for example. What I mean by, oh, you shouldn't restrict your food is technically you should allow yourself to eat all food groups that you enjoy within moderation and balance. But I do think that when you have a physique-orientated goal, or perhaps you are in a cycle of self-sabotage and you're doing really well to get out of that cycle, or whatever you're doing, actually there has to be some kind of limit or level of restriction in some way or another. And that's, so I'm taking us back to weekends. Like, we very much want all of our clients, the people that work with us, to enjoy their life, to create something that genuinely they can maintain long term, not something that can be maintained or adapted 8 weeks down the line they just give up on it. Like, we want to build a lifestyle for our clients which sees them in complete control of their body and their mindset overall. And I think we know that when you go and eat out, if you haven't planned and budgeted accordingly, it's a very easy slope, like downhill, to not really understanding what's in your food, what you're really eating, unless it's something as straightforward as like a Nando's, where it's very easily trackable or understanding. Like, some people make their lives much harder by consistently going out and then wondering why they can't ever get a accurate measurement of, I don't know, what they look like or how they feel. And it comes down to the fact that there's just no consistency. And sometimes in a diet, for example, like a day, like my diet, which is not a diet, my diet that I eat on a day-to-day basis, sometimes, variety in the sense of your micronutrients, your macronutrients is super important, but not to the point where you've got so much variety that you almost have no idea, like, what's the next meal and what am I doing? Like, we're humans and we do seek like the same similar environments or decision, food groups or whatever, the whole way through our life, and that is something that when it comes to like a weekend and you're sabotaging yourself, like if you allowed yourself throughout the week to have things that you did enjoy but within moderation, it would be less likely that come the weekend you're like, oh fuck it, I don't care, I'm just gonna, I really deserve this. You know how many times I hear that language from clients? When they start this, I deserve it though. I've looked at my watch and I've burnt this many calories. I deserve this. And it's like, you don't deserve food. Like, food is there for you to survive and also to thrive in two different ways. But, you don't deserve food. You need to eat to live. Do you know what I mean? And if you didn't eat, do you know what I mean? You'd be dead. So it's like, when you have that element, same with alcohol. I see it a lot with alcohol, where it's like, I deserve this glass of wine, or well deserved. And it's like, that mentality is one that's really going to like show up in a number of different elements of your life, because you don't deserve shit, to be quite honest with you. As I just said, like, we need to eat to live. If we don't eat, we die. So where is the deserving factor? And that's when it comes down to the behaviors and the emotions of an individual. And if you don't have a very strong why behind what you are doing, you are more likely to sabotage yourself on a continual basis. And I think Mark would say the same, in the sense of clients that we've worked with, or we have struggled to get on, I guess, in the sense of get on. And we're always very honest about this. Like, not everybody that we work with is shining through every step of the journey, is like perfect in any way. In fact, we have multiple obstacles and hurdles to overcome. That's our job with clients, to make sure that they're happy and that we've overcome certain elements of that obstacle, you know, the obstacles and the hurdles. But almost sometimes I think some people, like, it's too hard to get going because I just don't think they really want it that much. And that's when you're going to self-sabotage yourself legitimately on a day-to-day basis until you either see the light or you just don't do anything.
I think one of the main things with self-sabotage as well is the internal narrative that people facilitate with regards to the way that they view themselves in the process of self-care habits. And like Georgia highlighted earlier, we are our own worst critics, and that internal narrative of lacking self-affirmation, but also really just focusing in on the negative aspects of, you know, a potential week. For example, like one thing that has been apparent over the years is, let's say there are a number or a collective of self-care habits that need to be completed on a weekly basis, and 4 out of 5 of those habits have been ticked off. A person's natural inclination is to really laser focus onto the one thing that wasn't achieved and then drive a whole negative narrative, which then facilitates, you know, this really toxic environment of, you know.
Give an example, because I think a very prime example here.
For example, I've adhered to my calories, I've eaten enough protein, I've slept amazing, I've done enough steps, but I only managed to go to the gym once a week and now I feel like a failure. And it's like, hold on, you've just got 98% out of the test and you think that you're a failure. And
it's weird though, because I feel like though our industry sets you up to feel like that, and we have a very different approach to a lot of people, like a lot of other coaches. Like, we very much coach you, we very much guide you through the whole process, literally with, you know, step by step. But I think that there does come a point where the expectation, like, it's. I said this the other day. When do you think somebody, like a friend, how many people in your lifetime, because they've known about your job or what you work in, have said, oh, shouldn't be eating of this around you? Oh, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, fucking everybody. And then they go, something like, oh yeah, you know, oh, didn't go to the gym. You've been to the gym this morning. You've been to the gym. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously that's clearly where we just live.
I haven't eaten sugar in 8 weeks.
And when you go to consult with people, so what do you eat on a day-to-day basis? They'll consult with you. Hello, I'm very overweight. I feel miserable about myself and I don't know where to start. And you'll ask them, okay, well, set me up with a picture of what your current lifestyle's like. Like, take me through your day, like how you would eat, like thing. People are like, right, so I have egg white omelette for breakfast, then I'll have chicken and then just a little bit of broccoli, and then I'll eat, I normally have like one fillet of cod, and I wouldn't have the rice, I just have vegetables. And you're sat there going, okay, so can you just explain to me where you managed to get yourself into the situation and where you sit in right now, in the sense of how uncomfortable you feel and weight gain and stuff. It's like, I don't know, because I don't really eat that much and I'm really healthy. And it's like, I don't need to hear that. What I need to hear from you is, right, to be honest with you, I fucking starve myself for half the day and then I go and binge at 4. I order a takeaway enough for 6 people and then I continue binging until about midnight, and then I wake up feeling like shit, and if I'm lucky I'll get a pastry on the way to work. You know, that's the honesty that you need to effectively take responsibility for, to get help professionally. Just like how a therapist works you through, like, okay, well, how did you get there and how did you feel about it and how you, it's exactly the same process as what we do. It's like, if you're not honest with yourself, you know, you're setting up the expectation that, okay, well, you've told me that you eat egg white omelette at breakfast, do you know what I mean? You go on a 10k run, do you know what I mean? You then come back for lunch and you've got a chicken salad, and then you're having a bit of white fish in the evening. So is that what you want your whole nutritional plan to be made up of? Do you want us to set all of your expectations up to feel like a failure at all points because you've lied to yourself? Like, that's the thing. It's like, if you're lying to yourself, it is it's a bit of a problem to then overcome, because that's when self-sabotage is going to happen all the time. Oh, it's fine, the whole time, when actually it's not, at the end of the day. Like, I feel like the whole way through our journey, people will always say things like that we think we want to hear, which sets us as coaches in their head expectations in a way. People apologize to us for doing things. It's like, how many times has that happened in our career? I'm so sorry, I didn't do that. Like, what? Like, literally, please don't apologize. Do you know what I mean? It's not, you know what I mean? We don't expect you to do anything, to be honest with you. But what we do expect is you to make a conscious choice and effort in your self-care habits. We don't expect, you don't need to apologize if you didn't do something. It's not us you're apologizing to. If you feel like you've let something down, you know what I mean? It's not us you apologize. We're not dictating your life, you know what I mean? We physically can't micromanage that. But I think with what Mark was saying, the sense of a client with exercise and, going to the gym, or I didn't go to the gym, it's that whole thing of like, well, you've ticked off 98% of it. Why do we need to wallow in the negatives? Why can't we see all the other wins around it and then progress forward from that? But I think, it does happen frequently in like working with people in the sense of self.
Do you think that I'm just going to just say it the way I see it. Do you think that just comes down to the vast majority of our clients being female and coinciding with certain hormonal fluctuations where negative narratives are more frequent? Do you know what I mean?
No, because I think people see progress. I think...
Because I guess, that in that luteal phase, you can almost, for each individual person, when you kind of understand the menstrual cycle, you can almost kind of predict it like this. You can assume, making the assumption that within this time frame, this narrative is going to be statistically more negative compared to other periods and phases within a woman's hormonal cycle.
Yeah, but in a sense of self-sabotage, I think it's, you only get to break that cycle around like look, we all deal, like every woman is dealing with some kind of hormonal thing depending on the phase of your life. It's either a menstrual cycle, or you're going through menopause, you're perimenopause, or we're always going through some kind of hormonal change as women. And that is something which I feel like it's almost like we forget sometimes, and it's very easy to forget because your life runs and then you're like, oh my God, why do I feel like this? And like when you're very switched on with your body, which I would say I am, like too heightened in a way to my body, I know like 11 days like before I even start bleeding that I can feel the twitch inside of me, feel like shit, like completely like shit. Everything becomes harder. I can't seem to think straight with work, and it is unmanageable. But I think in the sense of, would I say that women, I think because the conversation of menstrual cycles has happened so much more in the past few years, I do feel like it's an obstacle which has caused like a roadblock for quite a few women, because I think we should be aware of our periods and our hormonal health 150%, but I almost think it's gone to the other approach of like some people I know and that I've worked with especially, like, don't even really struggle with any kind of period pain. They don't, you know what I mean? They just get on with their life. It's literally it just happens. And there's other people on the other grander scale who are like in bed and can't move. But I always feel like, it's about being honest with yourself around those times and knowing that you're going to be craving heavy amounts of highly palatable food or weird foods, or you might not want to walk that much, or you might not want to move in the gym. But it's also that thing of like, well, this happens to you like every 3 weeks technically. Like, this is going to be the starter. Every 3 weeks this is going to happen until you go through perimenopause and menopause. And like, even then, that's a very, very challenging time, for probably more so challenging than it is for a menstrual cycle to happen every month. But I think that you have to learn how to manage that period, to know what period, meaning that period of time, and also your period, to know that your self-sabotage, you're not going to do it frequently all the time, because otherwise you end up in this cycle. It's my period again, it's fine. It's my period again, it's fine. It's my period again, it's fine. Well, it happens every single month. So are you going to consistently, sabotage yourself, or are you going to try and work out where are your biggest trigger points around that time? How can you adjust to that period of time? Can you increase your calorie intake? Can you not focus so much on dieting and focus on just fueling yourself with good food? Can you allow yourself to have the foods that you really want? And all of those answers, yes, yes, yes. Do you know what I mean? But if you live in your head where that this is going to happen every month, and you consistently self-sabotage, and you're not going to really get anywhere, because unfortunately it's something we just have to get on with in general. I think overall, I think it's why I think people sabotage themselves in a number of ways. It's not just food. It's like exercise, it's walking, it's laziness, do you know what I mean? It's sleep, it's, alcohol intake. Like, there's so many options other than just hormones. But I do think hormonal imbalances is one of the biggest things to really work on yourself if you feel like that is a time of the month where you just have no control. And if you lack control, then that's going to be the first starting point to sabotaging yourself overall.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on everything that you say, my darling wife.
Oh, Mark just feels like he really wants to have a conversation right now. Like, I'm just looking at you okay, cool.
No, it's a very nuanced topic, and it's one of those things where it's hard to just brush the entire topic over with no nuance to it, because like Georgia says, it could be stemming from so many different places, and being able to overcome it is going to require a bespoke approach. Each person kind of deals with those kind of narratives and habits in different ways. But I guess this is the main reason why I guess we have a job, is to help people manage that both physically and mentally, and show people that you are going to self-sabotage yourself, maybe not in the next 2 weeks, but in the next 2 months when you can't sustain it, and then highlight things like self-resentment and feeling like a failure and saying, oh, I'm lazy because I haven't been able to upkeep certain habits, which a lot of people tend to, self-sabotaging comes in the earliest stages of a process where people start to feel comfortable, they start to see progress, and they feel like, oh, this is easier than I thought it was going to be. And then that's when the self-sabotaging comes in, from trying to walk too much, trying to train with...
I think it's about the whole thing of not trying to everybody always used to say this, you can't out-train a bad diet, and I think it's this whole thing of oh, I'll start running, do you know what I mean? That's going to really be the best option for you when you don't even run now, and you're effectively sabotaging yourself because you can't keep in control of perhaps your diet or other elements of your habits.
Maybe you've made poor nutritional choices and eaten I'm just going to go for a run because at least that's better than nothing.
Yeah, and I just think that's just a very... But one thing that I will say is I think self-sabotaging can come also down to your beliefs overall. And I think we sabotage ourselves when we align ourselves with the belief. So maybe you're reading something and you think that's a better option. Do you know what I mean? That's it. That's what I'll do. And your emotion is the first thing that's triggering you. Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll do that. And instead, of thinking, oh, I wonder if this is actually going to be a good idea, or if this is going to completely fuck something up, or do you kind of then go, oh, it's fine. I'll choose to do this because I believe that I've read something somewhere and it will work, or somebody's told me something and now I believe that. So I'm going to run with these beliefs. And actually, what you believe on a day-to-day basis sabotages you consistently, because it could be that you might be sat there going, well, the reason I'm overweight, maybe I've got a slow metabolism. Do you know what I mean? That's it. I've got a slow metabolism. That's the reason I'm overweight. And that's your excuse to then effectively sabotage you not making any kind of progress. Well, my metabolism's slow. I can't make any progress. And it's the same thing. If you believe it, you're going to sabotage
assuming
time
that
and
there's
time.
the assumption that there's something wrong with you, or that the assumption that the process doesn't work or is not going to work because I'm too old, or insert a relevant excuse.
I think sabotage happens the most when somebody doesn't like.
I'm too busy, that is, I've got this going on, and then I'm going traveling, and I've got a work event, and then a birthday party. It's like, how important is this stuff to your life actually? When you fast forward 5 years from now, are you going to remember those moments? Are you going to be pre-diabetic or in a worse state of confidence and self-image?
It's only going to get worse if you don't address it. That's the reality.
This is the thing. It's like the analogy: when is the best time to plant a tree? Today and 20 years ago. Like you gotta just do it.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, but I would also say that there's times where I see sabotage happen in quite a weird way when people are ill. Okay, so you might have like a cold or like a cough or something like that, and you're doing like really well in your journey, or you really want to. I don't know, you're seeing great progress and suddenly, unfortunately, feel a bit unwell, okay? And then when you are unwell, okay, some reason you lose all control on what you put in your mouth, which is bizarre, isn't it? Because the cold's not doing that to you. You can't taste any food. So what's the extra food intake and the overeating because you're ill going to benefit you?
Sure.
And I see it happen so many times. I'm ill, but I'm going to carry this through for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Do you know what I mean? I'm ill. And I still feel a bit unwell whilst I literally shove like shit food into my mouth, takeaways, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I was feeling a bit ill. You're not helping yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're ill with a cold, the last thing you want to be doing is pumping your body full of loads of fucking processed shit food. You would probably want to look at your diet and go, fuck, I think I need some micronutrients here.
Yeah.
I think I need to help my immune system. I would like to recover as quickly as possible. But where I find a lot of people who are ill is then they just dwell in it for weeks, do you know what I mean? And they literally sabotage their progress. It's like, well, I wasn't feeling well this week, but I'm
back on track.
It's like, well,
the track is still there.
The track's
do you know what
there.
I mean?
You just stop. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference. It's not, and it's that stop-start mentality, but then your expectation is that you should be like you fucked around for 3 or 4 weeks or months, do you know what I mean? Your expectation is obviously then months ahead of where you actually are because you've sabotaged yourself. So your expectation is, oh, but by now I should have been X amount lighter, or I should be feeling more confident. But because I've dwelled in the last 6 to 8 weeks of my life, you know what I mean? My brain hasn't caught up with, what I actually haven't done, which is nothing, you know what I mean? And then I expect the result. And I think this whole thing is a cycle of consistently just ending up sabotaging yourself. Like, I think illness is one of the best things. I'm not saying somebody that's like lifelong ill, that's a very different thing. But in fact, those that we do work with that are very unfortunate in their health, in the sense of maybe they've got cancer or much, hideous things that people don't want to deal with, they're actually looking after themselves on a day-to-day basis. And they're taking, so when you have a cold, it's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? Just the same as if your body aches, do you know what I mean, and you're feeling like real shit, don't potentially go to the gym, but go for a walk. It's all these things that you don't have to like have a stop and a start, and because these habits,
and be super rigid with it. Like we had a load of our clients who have been training ridiculously hard and consistently for ages now, and everyone's showing the signs that they need an adjustment in volume because we're overreached, which is essentially the macro and meso cycles of our training programs and principles, which we're not going to go into because it's dead boring. But we've overreached. Everyone needs a deload. So not everybody, but I'm saying everyone's getting
everybody. There are a few clients who are showing, but this is because they've trained consistently.
Yes, but everybody's at some point get to the point where they need a deload. So just
Only
smashing.
if they get there, though.
Only if they get there. George has got a. You got a
I
thing of
hate
the
it.
deload.
You know what it is? It's because I feel like people have every excuse. It's the same as. Can I be honest with you?
You will train so hard, your legs will fall off, and you will still be like, I'm gonna do Bulgarian split squats tomorrow.
No, I don't overdo it. Don't lie to people. I have at least 2 recovery days a week.
No.
I'm very active, but I also eat for my fucking training, and I cater to my fucking nutrition.
Yeah, but your
and I sleep
mindset, your
well every
mindset
single night, and I don't drink alcohol, and I'm not a so
mindset does not do less than 100%.
Yeah, cool. But like what I'm trying to say to you is I don't overstretch it. And if I needed a deload, I would fucking deload. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say to you is the reason I find deloads not a conversation for general population is because some of our best performing content that really worried me was always just about taking a break. And I just feel like we give so much excuse to people just to have a break.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't think if you understand the capacity that some of our clients are training in, or what I would train where it would warrant a fucking deload, that I think it's just an excuse for somebody to go, oh yeah, actually I'm feeling a bit tired. I think, yeah, that will it. I don't think I'll go to the gym this week. You know what I mean? It's not a deload. A deload is a phased, very structured approach to training. The same as...
What I'm trying to get at is it would be self-sabotaging if you were just to continue putting the hammer down and not taking a bit of a breather if you've been in the trenches.
Yes, of course. I'm absolutely fine. I don't know why you're aiming this at me.
I'm not aiming this at you. I'm aiming at
my capacity.
An eighth.
You're annoying me now.
I'm annoying you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I don't have an anti-thing about deloads in a structured strength and conditioning program. It's my fucking job. What I have a problem with is the way it's spoken about.
I'm not interested in that. You think that I can train the eighth of your capacity?
Yeah, but now you see how many things you say to me. Listen back to our podcast. You say to me, and you wonder why I get so infuriated. Honestly, I'm looking at you in the eyes right now, which is the first throughout this whole podcast.
I think we should have a dual training session and then see who can.
Okay, should we do body weight to strength capacity?
Yeah, we'll do relative strength.
We'll just do relative strength.
Yeah, we'll do relative strength.
That's the reason why you can lift 100 kilos.
No, we can do relative strength.
In a Bulgarian split squats because you weigh over 100 kilos. So there you go. It's like a body weight.
Obviously, it's body weight times 2.
I'm fucking joking. I'm literally obviously.
So it's not. So it's 200 kilos actually, because if you're including my body weight plus 100 kilos, 200 kilos.
So you can only lift your body weight.
200 kilos.
Anyway.
On one leg.
No, you can only lift
200
your body
kilos
weight.
on one leg.
Do you know what I mean? It's okay.
3 reps.
It's
RP
okay.
is probably about 7.
Mark bigs it all up when he gets really angry about this. But remember, you're talking to a woman who relatively is probably
Listen, this is 2023. Men and women are equal.
Okay, let's just get you on doing a single leg hip thrust, shall we?
I knew you were going to say that.
I knew you were going to say that. Up with the right range of motion. Then we'll talk. I knew you were going to say that. And we'll video it.
Just that one exercise I struggle with.
Absolutely not. You can't bring your knee to your chest.
Oh,
so, okay.
Excuse me?
I'd love to see you do a single leg squat.
Excuse me? You'd love to see me do a single leg squat. How many reps would you like me to do?
I would like you to do it as low down with your knee into your chest.
Low down? How low do you go?
Your anterior tilt would never fucking cater to that. This is like an argument of like a husband and wife that clearly are
biomechanics.
Coaches. Like,
your psoas muscles are
fucking weak. Do you know what I mean? Like you make me feel.
Oh my god! I saw you in the sagittal plane, and you are just disgusting.
Oh my god! Do you actually think I'm?
No, I would never. I don't think any negative thoughts pertaining to you, except when you are
Shut the fuck up!
To me.
Oh my god! Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, the Red Cross is calling. Little Africa.
Yeah, because you've got that colonial dominate. You're a colonial.
Why did you marry a British person? Because you wanted in. Do you know what I mean?
You wanted
in.
This
Not
was the eyelashes.
Vagina,
I'd never seen.
Family.
I'd never
you wanted in. You wanted a piece of this British life. Yeah.
I'd never seen long eyelashes before.
Oh God. Yeah. Do you know what? My eyelashes are long, do you know what I mean? And sometimes I look like a gypsy, and it's okay.
You're also pretty jokes, like when you want to be, you know what I mean?
I am fucking jokes, do you know what I mean? I would say that most people would describe me the whole way through life, barring fat for a large period of it, was jokes. That was the only thing I was known for.
Really?
Yeah.
And what happened?
Baits, banter, baits, do you know what I mean?
What happened?
what fucking happened? I had to marry you. Do you know what I mean? I married you, and my fucking personality is so
Oh
numb
my
now.
God.
There we go.
Do you
Because you're
reckon?
about to be rude, so you
Do you
deserve
reckon?
that. I'm too quick for you.
Do you reckon?
What? You doled me out, probably. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I do find life is quite. Well, you get
You're quite
older.
obnoxious.
I'm quite obnoxious.
You were, yeah.
Do you know
just
what Mark did?
leery.
Mark once wrote, funny that, how was your spin class the other day? Should we take you back to 2015, where Mark wrote such an anti-rant on his notes on his phone, then shared it to Instagram about his hate for spin?
Yeah.
So how was your how was your boutique spin class the other day, Mark?
Yeah, it was insightful.
Yeah, it's like Mark actually woke up and said, "Oh, my legs."
Yeah, my legs were feeling a bit
fatigued.
Yeah, it was a good way.
I didn't. I was absolutely fine. That's because you are the 8th of my capacity.
Wow, the
Mark said to me,
statistics
you know
on
he's gonna start a
the
competition 'cause he said
statistics
to
on
me-
the bike
I know,
beg to
The
differ.
fact that Mark looked over at my bike.
Yeah, I did.
Nobody could see
No, I
properly
looked
unless you really
to make
looked.
sure. Yeah, I looked to
Mark,
make sure
because
that
you're
you were
like double
behind
my
me.
body weight.
You were
do you know what I mean?
behind me.
What the
Can I
fuck
repeat that
behind
one
me?
more time? Georgia was
How
behind
much
me.
power do you think
Look
your
here,
weight versus my
I
weight can?
was almost double your power.
Yes, because you are almost double my weight.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
literally, what power does that work at?
Am I-
Now we're gonna have
oh, I am
competition,
almost
and you're
double
not
your
gonna be able to
weight.
sit next to me and spin because we're gonna get annoyed with each other.
Jeez, if I carry
Because
on
I'm
this
going to have a
way-
competition. I'm going to have a competition. I'd like to see you do 5 pull-ups in a row, but it's okay.
I welcome the competition.
Should we do 5 pull-ups in a row right fucking now? I'll drop
Like,
down on
where
the
we-
floor, do 20. Don't even
What
fucking
pull-ups?
test
How are
me.
you gonna
No,
do
I'm gonna
pull-ups on the
push-ups
floor?
as well. We'll be fucking on
Push-ups?
for it.
How many do you want? 20?
I want fucking
Unbroken.
45.
Huh?
I want 45.
In a row? You can't do 45 push-ups in a row.
Don't speak to me like
You
that.
can't.
Because now you're going to make me want to do
You're going to do
I've had tuna
45.
pasta for
If
fucking
you do
lunch, I'm fueled.
45 push-ups
Yeah, I'm going, as I
in
said,
a row
SAS Who Dares Wins.
without a break,
I win.
I will do anything.
I will do anything.
Anything.
Yeah, you will do anything for me because I'm a colonialist and I'm fucking going to dictate your
Yeah,
life.
crack the whip, bro.
I'm going to crack the whip. You know, you can go back to fucking cleaning the floors. Although, let's go on to Mark cooking, shall
Thank
we?
you.
Because I know Mark's really
Thank
wants
you.
to talk
Yeah.
about this.
It's a.
Mark has
We've
now
off
cooked...
sabotaging.
How have I sabotaged?
No, I'm just asking. Are we?
What the fuck have we done on sabotaging?
No, but we're gonna
now I'm about to
circle back.
sabotage you.
Okay, sabotage my love for
I think
cooking.
environment is also a very big sabotager, but in the sense of self-sabotage, not so much.
Well, I guess if you are, trying to undergo a weight loss journey or just a journey in self-improvement, and you understand your triggers to a certain degree, but then you consistently facilitate an environment that causes those triggers to trigger. I've got shitloads of highly palatable food that I have no willpower against constantly around me because I consistently purchase it, then, certain habits like that can be self-sabotage when it comes to environmental inputs.
Yeah, I mean, also the fact that, yes, in the sense of buying environment, but I also say if we went off like your actual environment of your,
What about
sabotage
work?
from others, that
What about
is
work?
fucking a problem. That is probably the biggest thing that people will face, barring themselves, is the people around them trying to sabotage them.
When I did that story, the vast majority of the responses were people at the workplace bringing in cakes and highly palatable food and then ramming it down your throat.
Send us photos of what their offices look like, and it's like, look, in the sense of a brochure of getting a job, I'm sure it's wonderful. I'll never forget when I was going to secondary school and I had to go and do, shut up.
Here we
I had to go and do
go.
tests. I'm talking about the brochure. I'm talking about the brochure, Mark.
okay,
It's how I was
sorry.
sabotaging myself.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Oh my God, just honestly, like, fucking we've thrown you out the window like 7 times throughout this podcast already. But obviously I'm not strong enough, am I, Mark? Oh, I forgot. I'm just not strong enough. Anyway, I'll never forget going to a brochure of work. It looks great, loads of food everywhere, the food options. It was the same as when I was looking at potential boarding schools to secondary school, and there was one where the brochure on the front was 2 girls in a dorm room eating Ben and Jerry's, and I said that was exactly the reason why I would want to go to boarding school, is because I could sit on the sofa and eat Ben and Jerry's as well. And I
Two
think
girls, one cup.
Do you know what, Mark? Again, jump out the window. I'm not going to say it again. Two girls, one cup.
Do you know what that is?
Don't Google. Whatever you do, nobody Google
How do you know what that is?
How do I not know what it is? How do I not know what it is? I've come up with loads of analogies for our business that's like two coaches, one goal, and you were like, any hole's a goal. Yeah.
Did I say that?
No, I
hope
said
my mother's
that because
not
I'm
watching.
the one with the banter. And don't, because I am hilarious and I make you laugh frequently on a day-to-day basis. So yeah. But no, two girls, one cut. I still like the slogan, two coaches, one goal. But if it's because it's a very good play on words, if you don't know.
the premise behind the boarding school was everybody gets together and is incredibly friendly.
No, the whole purpose of the thing was the fact about the food. It's the same with working environments with food. You know, it looks great, but when your client's sending you that they've literally just ordered in like a load of crosstown donuts, followed by like special chocolates and beers on tap and fucking all of that, you honestly wonder like why your employees sat there with like lethargic at like 3 p.m. on a fucking Tuesday, struggling, when you're enticing after work drinks where they're not going to get good enough sleep. Then you're going to feed them a load of shit food.
You're also encouraging absenteeism in the workplace.
Yes,
which is costing you money.
Honestly, we're on a mission now with how things are going with our business. But the next step, we've done corporate shit before, but we really want to step into that a little bit more, because I honestly think your environment is one of the biggest pillars to just fucking everything up for you. And like, unless you are privileged to take yourself away from that environment and really knuckle down to it, which FYI on a side note, I'm developing something where you can, but like then you're stuck with it. And so like, imagine having a partner who like literally wants nothing more than you to just not fucking do what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? There's so many partners that are like that.
Many.
They get very jealous, they get very competitive, just like Mark with the spin bike. Now we're only going to have a competition. I'm going to put a heart rate monitor on myself.
Yeah, and you're going to lose.
You're going to see my fucking heart rate variability.
Yeah, behind
I'm
mine.
going to recover so quickly. Like, you won't even hear me breathing. Unlike you, that I can hear you out through the microphone.
The only thing that you could hear and see is my dust when you're behind me.
Dust.
My dust.
Bro, you had so much sweat around the spin bike.
Yeah, because that's what hard work looks like.
That's what. No, that looks like
weight
capacity.
That's if your power was up, you'd also
sweat
sweat
heavily. Do you know what's the sign? Weak fitness.
When your power's up,
don't. It's sign weak.
When your
fitness.
power's up, then you're sweating. When your power's low, and you're idling.
Did I come out looking like a tomato, and did I actually put that on fucking social media? I actually said I look like a tomato. And I would say any time that I'm in a hot spin room, I probably am look like a tomato.
I think just because you're in close proximity to me,
I can do fucking 60 kilo step out dumbbells and with a hoodie on, 3 layers. I don't have a bead on me, you dick. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there's a bead on your little dick, but not on my fucking forehead. Okay? So yes. Going back to the spin class and competitive environment.
Sweating or not sweating, I'm still numero uno.
It's very proven though, like in numero uno, I'll divorce you after this podcast. Numero uno, on your own. Exactly. On your own. Do you know what I mean? Single and ready to mingle.
Top of the mountain.
Loads of minges for Mark. Minges for Mark. That's what we call it. Minge for Mark. There we go. We're going to put up a charity campaign like the Red Cross. Little Mark, naked. Minge for Mark. There we go. But he hasn't eaten in 16 years, because let's not forget that you went to a private boys' school in Africa and your parents literally brought you up just as privileged as I was. But oh wait, let's just forget that you did have your electricity cut off, and that you've gone through really the works, do you know what I mean, to end up in the leafy greens of Surrey, married to a very privileged British girl.
Yeah.
So I'll put the advert up.
I wouldn't say you're a girl,
on fucking
woman.
Hazelmere board. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can have Minge for Mark plastered around, so you can watch two girls with one cup whenever the fuck you want.
Yeah, shredded.
Yeah. Shredded micro penis. You're like that. Please don't bring up micro penis. No, I'm gonna have to justify it.
What the size of my penis?
Yeah. When hard. well hard.
Yeah, penises are weird.
Yeah, they are. It's so weird. Like, I'd rather have mine all tucked away, to be quite honest with you, than
A
hanging
grower,
out.
not a shower.
No, I mean, I'd rather have a vagina than a dick. Like,
Sure.
dicks are actually really dirty things. Think about it.
Yeah.
Sat in your pants, which have probably got skid marks all over, do you know what I mean? You whap out and into somebody's mouth, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is disgusting. Like, with a
Why is
load
it
of pubes,
disgusting?
probably, because no man's got like a mole rat, do you know what I mean? Like, fucking. But yet, oh wait, let me just remember, women need to have a bikini wax just in case they're foraging too
don't.
fucking much.
Some people like eating out of the bushy bowl.
Oh my God, you minge for Mark. That's
Yeah,
that's
there
your
you go.
slogan. I like eating out of the bush.
Bushy
That's
bowl.
we go. African. Here we go.
Yeah.
We're building it. Branding.
I'll drink from the fairy cup. I don't mind.
You'll drink from the furry cup.
Yeah.
I hate hair, so you know my thoughts on that.
Yeah, but I'm saying
The
it's not.
furry
It's that. That's your.
Just like when I'm on my period, don't worry, we'll take the dirt road.
Yeah, when the Red River flows, take the dirt
I
road.
just want to just
Listen, what I'm trying to say is, listen to me. Listen to me.
listen to me.
When
I
that
am
is
the
your own
captain now.
personal, that's your own personal choice. Like if you decided to grow a bush, then I wouldn't complain.
My mum always used to say it's weird that women have like a completely like naked vagina because it's like a child, which when you put it like that, it is. But I absolutely hate pubic hair. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I find it bizarre. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll let it grow. For bacterial sake. But like women that don't shave their armpits and stuff like that, it is weird. And I even say to Mark, like, you know, if you had excess body hair, I would tell you to get rid of it. Like, you know, those like really
too
like
much.
gross men on a yacht, do you know what I mean, with like black hair coming up all over their back. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'd be like, get rid of that. That's disgusting. Like,
It is gross.
that is gross. I don't know. I know some men can't help it, but like, just do something about it. Like, if us women need to be preened and you know what I mean, proper.
The problem is like some guys, like even when we went to high school, there was a guy that if he shaved his beard in the morning, it would grow back by 5 p.m. He'd have an afternoon shadow. If is that what it's called?
Was he who?
His name was Angus Pike.
Angus.
Yeah, Angus
Is that
Pike.
Scottish?
Angus Pike. No, he was a farm boy.
What? British?
No, he was Zimbabwean.
No, but like heritage-wise,
He
Angus
was
is quite a non-African
mixed
name.
race.
I don't
Mixed
think
race
you
guy.
can say mixed race.
I think I don't know what like
Oh no, maybe.
where I come from
No,
referring
I know
to
what
a
you can't
person
say.
that
I know
is
what you can't say.
I don't yeah well I don't who knows these days.
Mixed ethnicity.
He was mixed race. I think you can say mixed race.
What are you?
I'm Caucasian, white,
What do you tick in the box then? If you're
White.
African,
white.
white.
Yeah,
Actually, white through and through, but you're quite tanned.
yeah. No, but it's
When you've
Caucasian
had a
white.
sunbed and burned yourself.
Well, if you speak to a black Zimbabwean, they would refer to us as European.
That's weird, isn't it?
So they would say to us, with growing up in the early 2000s when everyone didn't really like white people, go back to Europe, go back to Britain, is what
And
they
that's where
would say.
Mark went.
So we're like,
That's where he
okay,
is.
okay.
He got on the dinghy and he came all the way
Yeah,
to the
okay,
Britain.
okay.
Mark still hasn't got a visa appointment since our last conversation. That's just reminded me how much you need to go and refresh VFS Global with the hope that you can suck the balls of an immigration lawyer of some degree.
Yeah, no, it's a stress.
Yeah, it is a stress. It's a big stress. But I think, environment again, do you know what I mean? Stressful environment equals
Self-sabotage. Didn't get my when my ancestral was ready to go, I didn't pull the trigger to get my British passport.
Yes, because we decided to move to Africa where we needed your African passport.
Yeah, that's also true.
Otherwise, I would not have got into the country.
Oh, it's such a pain having a South African passport.
Yeah, but I think there's probably worse passports like Zimbabwean.
Yeah,
I would
Zimbabwean
say South
passport's
Africans
bad.
are probably actually the most efficient out of the African passport places.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know, maybe. What about... The thing is, Africa's so big, but what about, like, Tunisia or Morocco or
Yeah, it's crazy actually.
all the whole of North Africa is pretty well developed. So certain areas.
When was the last time you went to Morocco? Because I would say certain areas are well developed.
Yeah, certain
just the same
areas.
as I would say South Africa is far more developed than some
Yeah.
parts. Like, I
It's
don't know.
hard
I
to
think
say,
South
really.
Africa
It's
is
hard to
fucking
say.
huge. South Africa.
South Africa is massive.
Huge.
Yeah.
You want to
Like
say,
when-
how long will it
like,
take me to get from there to there?
Well,
It's like,
Dylan said
what?
that he went to the Kruger National Park and he was like, it's larger than England. The
What?
Kruger National Park is larger than England, the size of England. Not including Scotland, Wales, Ireland, but the size of England is smaller than the Kruger National Park.
Is that factually correct?
Well, I'm assuming so because that's what
Because
he
too
told
large
me.
a statement, to make.
I can Google it.
I wouldn't even know how big England is, like in the sense of like how many. Like I'd know
It's
from
tiny. It's small.
Land's End to
small.
Scotland.
Yeah, but that's Scotland. Yeah.
Land's End to Cornwall is like 600 miles.
Yeah, which
Am
is
I
tiny.
lying? That's probably a
No,
lie.
it's
1,000 miles.
yeah, I'd say it's more than that. Like maybe 800 or 1200.
I feel like we need to Google this because it's gonna.
Yeah, I
annoy
just
me.
think
I'm gonna look like a complete.
It's small.
arsehole
South
for this
Africa is
one.
massive. To drive from Cape Town to Joburg, you're looking at
What was
like
it?
14 to
Land's End
16.
to John O'Groats.
Yeah. Jono's.
Jono, good old Jono.
Jono.
Oh, here we go. Right, take a guess.
1,200 miles.
Well, I have to say you're actually correct. 1,189.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Yeah, so 1,200.
1,200
So
miles.
maybe, you know what, we've been thinking that we need to do like a extreme charity event.
Extreme. I would like to break the world record for the world's
Don't tell
heaviest
people your fucking
deadlift
idea.
at altitude. But then I looked into it and I saw how many people climb Mount Kilimanjaro and I just thought,
Yeah, do you know what I
that's
mean?
an
It's too
effort.
generic. It's too generic. Same
Yeah,
as
but
Machu
nobody's
Picchu.
going up there
I'm
to
not going
like
to
lift
Everest. I don't want
weights.
to die. I really don't. I really just don't want to die on the side of a mountain
Yeah,
doing
but
something
like
I really
nobody's
hate.
no, like you got to do something that's noteworthy and can drive a.
What about a spinathon?
No,
We'll do,
spinathon.
obviously, with Mark's
I
power,
wanna
he'll
break a
complete
world
the fucking
record.
marathon within fucking
Yeah,
a second.
24 hours. I'll do it in 12.
Just imagine when Mark gets a blister doing a race like that. He'd be pathetic.
Oh, you think I'm
You
such
fucking
a
would. You'd have
pussy.
chafe between your legs within seconds.
Of course I did, because I'm such a.
When have you
wet
ever, barring
vagina.
bodybuilding, where you're wearing small enough trunks where your chafe was not fucking exposed,
Yeah,
when have you ever done an endurance race?
I did triathlons. Excuse me.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I've done 2 triathlons.
Oh, was this for the next girlfriend? Did you fucking tandem bike? Oh my god, you did, didn't
No, I
you?
didn't.
You
No, I
fucking
did it with
tandem
Matrabera.
biked. You fucking
You
tandem
can't tandem
you
bike
bellend.
around a marathon.
100% you can on a triathlon.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you
What
can. I'm sure you
triathlons?
can tandem on a fucking
You
race.
don't. It's an individual sport, Georgia. It's not.
No,
you.
I'm sure there's tandem fucking
No,
races.
I've never seen a tandem
Well,
triathlon.
No,
What, on those long bikes?
do it together. Fucking run it together like a joint race.
No, I
That
did it
would
with
be great.
Matrabero. I did it with Matrabero.
Okay, did you get into one of those triathlon suits?
Well, I beat him.
Or were you wearing a pair of H&M
No,
shorts
it was in a
and a t-shirt that
speedo.
doesn't fit
I was
you?
in a speedo because it was when I was at school, so I did it in a speedo.
Sorry, how old were you when you did your 2 triathlons?
17, 18.
Okay, I think go down a bit. I don't.
You go
think
down
you
a
were
bit.
18.
Why?
I just don't think so.
Why?
I just don't like. What did
Why are
you
you?
do? Did
Why?
you swim?
Why
Where
are
did
you
swim in
gaslighting
Zimbabwe?
me? Why are you gaslighting
Where did you?
me?
Where was your triathlon and how long was that?
It was at Mount Pleasant.
Oh my god,
Mount
that's
Pleasant
tiny,
School.
isn't it?
No, it was at Mount Pleasant swimming pool. It was a 50-meter
Oh,
Olympic
50 metre.
size.
Olympic because he's privileged from Africa. Olympic size.
Yeah,
Just
because
remind yourself.
the Olympic size are 50
Oh,
meters
I thought
long.
Mark didn't have a privileged upbringing. He's in an
What? There's an
Olympic-sized
Olympic in
swimming
every.
pool
There's
at
an
a
Olympic
private
swimming
school.
pool.
Like,
No, it wasn't at
No.
school. It was at Mount Pleasant swimming pool, where they have an Olympic swimming pool. Everyone's got
Olympic again.
an Olympic size because
Olympic size.
because it's 50 meters. Otherwise,
Thank you again for clarifying the 50
other
metres.
swimming pools could be 25
Yes,
or
But you've
18.
said Olympic 3,000 times.
I just had to clarify.
Okay, well, did you get into the swimming pool, do 4
Yeah.
laps and get out? Or
No,
did you...
8.
8? That's fucking pathetic
8
for
laps.
a triathlon. You did
8
8
laps.
laps
I
of the
think
pool
it was,
for a triathlon.
it was 400 meters, yeah.
You know, most triathlons in the UK, you've got to swim like a whole mile
Well, where do you want to do that?
in like open water.
No, we don't have open water. Well, we do have open waters, but not...
What do you mean? On...
Not,
Yeah, because you probably get eaten by or get
crocodile.
an infection of some
Yeah,
some
you'll
degree.
get bilharzia, where you get that worm that comes out your penis. Or
Well, I just think that maybe we've got... It's either that or I'm going on SAS Who Dares Wins. I've got to do something extreme.
No,
in my
I'd
life
like
in the next
to...
couple of
If
years.
anybody wants to sponsor George and I, we want to set a world record for the world's heaviest deadlift at altitude. So potentially climb a mountain.
Potentially get a helicopter up with
Not
the
a
bar.
helicopter. We're going to do Kilimanjaro,
hate
where you
helicopters.
carry the bar. So you have to carry the bar on your back. We'll raise money for
Do you know
charity.
how much width you need? Do you know what
Yeah.
you're climbing? You clearly have never climbed a
Yeah.
fucking mountain. Do you know if you walked with a
That's
barbell
the
on
whole
your
point.
back?
That's the whole
Mark,
point.
Directly
Adversity.
width-wise, you would not
You
be able to
wouldn't.
fit
Yeah,
on the
but
pathways
what happens
of a
if
lot
you,
of these places.
carry it sideways?
You would know this at Duke of Edinburgh, that when you walk on the side
Oh
of a
my
mountain,
God.
Mark, you don't
Yeah.
have the width of a
Yeah,
barbell.
you carry it long ways.
Okay, let me just hold it like a spear,
Yeah,
like I'm going to
yeah.
a fucking tribe.
There you go.
No.
Yes, that's the whole point. That's the unique selling point to it.
What you said to me, you were going to get, if we were to do it, you would get Sherpas.
Yeah, to
help
carry the
you.
plates
You
up.
had to cover- So you're
The
carrying
plates.
the one bar. You might as well do it on a pole. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand.
No,
You're
'cause you
lazy.
have
You should
to-
carry the plates yourself.
Oh, yeah, so you're going to carry, 200, 300 kilos up
But
on your back.
nobody's done a deadlift at the top of any of these extreme
Exactly.
locations. So we're already the first. So even if we did 50 kilos, we don't need to lift
Yeah,
up
but then you want to
300
make sure that
kilos.
people aren't able to
Most people
to
wouldn't
break
be dumb
it.
enough to do this. to
Exactly.
be
That's
honest
why
with you.
we should do it.
Mark, once it's set, we're the first people, like Neil
Oh yeah.
Armstrong.
What?
do you know
I
what
wonder
mean? We're
what.
the
I
first
wonder.
people.
I wonder what it was. 60 kilos.
Yeah,
Are
because
you a
we were
joke?
trialing testing
Are you a
it.
joke?
And then I'll jump out of a plane with a barbell on my back. Do you know what I mean? There we go. Do you know what I mean? How about I'm just going to hold myself in the air? Do you know what I
That
mean?
would be. Oh, that would
That
be
wouldn't
so
go to plan with the way that
viral.
the air would go against
Imagine
you.
you could do
the
like
barbell.
people. You jumped
You'd get
out
stuck in the
with the
plane.
plates on, it, and then you could.
Like a deadlift, a hinge
Oh, it'd be
from
so
the air.
jokes.
Oh my God. I wonder
It'd
if
be
that would
so
work.
jokes.
No, because the air, it would blow... If
No,
you
you
jump
just
out
hold
of a plane,
it.
like I
You
have
just
before.
hold it, and then you.
I would
you
skydive
grab it.
again, but it's really expensive. Like, it's just
I
really
would love to
expensive.
skydive. I'm scared of
We looked
heights,
at it
though.
the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, for our
For
anniversary.
our wedding anniversary, and I thought, do you know what?
And
I'm
then we
not gonna pay that.
self-sabotaged
It's
ourselves and did nothing.
No, we did do something. We went for a meal.
Oh
What
yeah,
did you
outside of that, I mean,
Yes, I don't know what you're expecting. Most people
Skydiving.
just have like just get
I'm
on
expecting
with their life.
skydiving.
Well, okay, well, when
From
you
my
want to spend
privileged
like £1,000
wife.
on a skydiving
Where's your
experience-
privilege? Can you
Where's my privilege? I'll get my
can
family
you-
to contact you, Mark.
can you exercise more privilege so we can go skydiving?
Fuck off, Mark. My inheritance doesn't cover skydiving. I'm
Yeah.
joking.
I wish you had an inheritance.
Oh, shut up. My father would be annoyed if you said that. No, you've spent half my inheritance.
Oh yes, I did. Yeah,
Um,
I stole your card and
Yeah,
Against
spent
your
it
will,
all. Yeah, no,
yeah.
you just transferred it. And but no, a skydive. I wonder if it actually would work. I don't think it would work with
we could do
against-
so much content based. We could do the training leading up to the climb where you have to do
Yeah, but where are you climbing?
acclimatization.
Because I'm not climbing
Kilimanjaro.
Everest.
Kilimanjaro.
It's so pathetic, Kilimanjaro, compared to...
17,000 feet above
I
sea
just
level.
feel like that's not good enough because I feel like I know my mum's
It's higher than
friends have
base
done it.
camp.
Do you know what I mean? My mum's friends
Yeah, but they
have
haven't
done it.
carried a 20-kilo bar up there and then attempted a
Okay,
world
I'm
record.
not too keen. I'd like a bar that collapses, to be quite honest. I just think the length of an
soft.
Olympic bar.
You see what I mean?
You've clearly never
Soft.
walked in this. You've
You need
walked
to
in the
engage some
privileged
of your
forest
colonial
Surrey.
heritage and just get a British stiff upper lip. Do you know
I'm
what I mean?
Jewish, Mark, and I'm actually from Eastern Europe. So
you know,
just know
all the
I'm not.
colonial men that have went and discovered
not a
Africa, like Sir Livingston and Cecil John Rhodes. You know, you need to tap into your heritage and be
Okay,
adventurous.
but where
and
would the Africans have found us? They probably wouldn't have ever. You would
Yeah,
all
that's
be,
what I'm
you would never
saying.
be
That's what
here.
I'm
You should
saying.
Be thankful for.
so you need to harness that.
What, as an explorer? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's not
Get up
exploring,
there.
It's extreme sports.
Imagine, just close your eyes. So like a whole documentary of Georgia training for it, doing hikes and talking about the nutrition needed for, long, arduous, hard
You're gonna give me an
journeys,
orgasm,
but you're also having to maintain and develop your strength so you can lift the most amount. And then it's the journey to, the vlogs of us going there, doing it, the
You were
hardship.
suddenly a video content
Yeah,
creator.
we'll find somebody.
I thought that you don't have a stamina every time you sit in front of a fucking camera. I'm joking.
How do you know?
Oh, well,
No,
how
but
do you
then
know? 'Cause
anyway,
I
so then
watched it.
and then all the way leading up to the climax of Georgia breaking a world record and your name being etched into mankind,
Yeah, but as I said,
and then you start a whole subgenre of people then who are like, that's the stupidest idea, but I want to beat that.
Mark, we could do
And
100 kilos. I
and
think
then
realistically, we
you
could do
could
100
be
kilos.
yeah,
up
but I
there.
don't want to do that. I want people to look at
Because we
that
could then carry
because
that
most
50
people
each.
because
That's
no,
piss easy for me.
no, I want to go up there. I want to do 3 bills.
But then that's you.
And
I
then-
can't lift 300
Yeah,
kilos
but you
in
do for a
deadlift.
woman.
I hope when you're fatigued with fucking some sort of altitude
No,
sickness,
you could
can
deadlift a hell. We could work you up to at least 200.
I don't want to lift 200. And also, the deadlift is the last exercise I'd want to do. How about do a fucking split squat with that? Do you know what I mean? Do something that's different. A deadlift is the biggest jerk
because
exercise.
because
I don't
it's
know
just
what
the
it is.
most. It's the most. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm just saying that it seems to be one of the most global exercises.
Yeah.
A lot of people deadlift and is probably one of the most.
Why would you want to do what everybody does then? Why don't you do
Because
something that
nobody's
somebody
not going to
can't do?
care about the world's
Mark,
heaviest
some people can
Bulgarian
pull 200
split
kilos off the floor
squat.
with a banana back, okay?
It's just
How
easier to
about try and
market.
Well,
It's easier to market, and people would be like, "Oh, that would be sick. I want to see how much that is."
oh, but the whole point is that we were doing this together. And
Yeah.
then Mark wants to stand at the top and do 300 kilos, which means Mark's going to be the top of the leaderboard, and then Jordan will be less than him. And I don't like that.
Okay.
Because I always
No,
win.
I appreciate that, and we'll change it. We'll change it to something else.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got to be fair, because otherwise the variables in this are going to make me unhappy.
Yeah, but technically, you would be setting a female
No,
record.
I don't like that.
No.
No, I still want to be number one. Like number one and you number two.
Okay. Well, I don't know what we're gonna do then.
Well, I think something which is
Burpees or something. Cardiovascular base.
you actually speak down here like
No,
I'm
I'm
so
sorry,
pathetic,
but like-
honestly. Like you think
What,
I'm
a
just
single
burpee,
leg-
that's the exercise.
a
Just gonna go
single
up to the
leg-
mountain and start doing burpees. Are you okay?
A single
Are you
leg
okay?
hip
Do you want a
thrust.
glucose shot? Do
Yeah,
you know
what
I
about
mean?
hip thrust? You can do stronger
No,
than me
bruv,
than hip
do you know what
thrust?
I'm really strong in? Everything that you're not. Do you know what I mean? I'll take a step up. I'll take a single leg exercise.
Okay.
I'll take anything because I know that not many people can do that.
Okay.
But
What if
I
we
have
do a
watched
selection
a lot
of
of people
exercises?
deadlift with the worst form a lot of
Yeah, I
weight.
know, Georgia, but it's just one of
I
those
don't want you
things
being
where
number
it's
one.
like,
How about we do a
Well-
combo exercise? It means you've got to have another person with you to be able to succeed in it. Not a combo exercise like a squat thrust.
oh, no, you're going to trigger me.
Like you could do something which is in something that needed two people, because that would make then like one explorer like really hard to achieve the target. You've got to
No, I
work
get
with the pros of us both being number one.
Well, you've just shot my idea down yet again. So.
No, it's honestly, do you know what I mean, Mark? Well, off you go and tell your little Sherpas to carry your bag because you called me colonial, okay? And then you're going to get
we
them to
both
carry the
do.
weights whilst you hold the spear. Don't forget, you've got the
Yeah, I'm
barbell.
going to carry the...
But Mark's going to be holding it on his back on a
Yeah,
width
carrying
of a
it.
fucking mountain.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the whole point. That's the entertainment value.
Have you seen, do you know how narrow the lanes are around Surrey? Now put that on a mountain, okay?
Yeah.
And then on a side path. You think you've
I
got
could
enough
carry a bar
distance
around
between
the Devil's
you
Punch bar.
and the
easy.
edge of the
I
fucking
wouldn't,
cliff.
I wouldn't carry it sideways.
You did
I'd
say that you were
carry
going
it
to carry it on your back.
lengthways. Yeah, but you can carry it like this. Just hold
On
it.
your back.
Yeah, on your shoulder.
I was imagining directly upwards.
Why would you carry it like that? Your
Erect.
arms would fatigue. Your bicep, well, mine wouldn't, but
That's because I'm just picking your weak mind. You're
my
such a
biceps
twat.
wouldn't.
Yeah, they would. They 100% would. I would like to see
Yeah,
you
it'll
do
be
dips
fun. It'll be
yesterday.
interesting. It'll be interesting. I think people would find value in that.
What? Well, we've got to come up with some kind of extreme sport. It's got to be different. I don't want to be the same.
I want to raise money for charity, though.
Which charity? Animal charity.
or mental health.
Yeah, mental health maybe. We've got to find one that's not a generic charity, because I feel like generic charities get the most amount of money, and we'd need a charity that actually like we could physically see the our money go towards like them do stuff.
Yeah.
I just find I once raised a lot of money for the Children's Trust in Epsom, and I actually won. Didn't win the money. Fuck, sad. That was sad, but I did raise the money enough to then go and get. I went on a whole afternoon tour around Child's Trust because I'd raised the most amount of money for them.
Yeah, I just want to also just
But I
go
like
down
seeing
in the
it 'cause
record
you can
books.
see where the money was going. Do you know what I mean? I don't really like being honest with you. Not that like half our family hasn't had cancer and yours. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
giving to cancer research doesn't really feel like the best use of charity money, in my opinion. I think there are very, very large.
There's a lot of people that would disagree with you.
Well, there's Marie Curie. There's so many cancer charities that I feel like you have to, instead of just doing to cancer research, I feel like that is a charity where you could, like a lot of people give, and they've got a lot of promo behind giving money to cancer research.
kind of more
There's a lot of
mainstream.
charities that don't have mainstream media pumping it or any shows that help it, you know. So I would want to give to a charity that didn't necessarily see the funds it needed.
Mine would probably be more mental health.
I would say mental health, and then I would say animals, yeah, because animals like I've got a special. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't want to give animals in the UK. I would say maybe in places like give money to like a shelter, and you know what I mean, like the needed.
One of the guys I went to school with started a charity who raises money to pay for school fees of underprivileged children in Zimbabwe to go
That was Mark. Did you have people raise money for you?
A scholarship. No, I got a bursary when I went to university though. Academic bursary.
You know what? Told me you had a dietitian at university. How was that afforded? How about the times that you lived in a really nice place in Durban?
When I used to work for the Sharks Academy as a rugby coach.
Yeah, cool. How did you get that position without privilege?
Vince got me the job.
Yeah, okay. How was Vince involved with your life? You also went to a privileged school together. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna have this, Mark. You really do play yourself down to be somebody that was brought up in just honestly one of the most treacherous.
No, I had a very privileged upbringing. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna fucking lie about this. Do you know what I mean? But I have lied about it, and I'll continue
especially
to
out of all
exaggerate.
of my siblings, I definitely had the.
I'm sure your brother's listening to this right now. You need to make him feel better and for himself. Yes, I think out of all of your brothers,
I think it got better as it went, because my dad just
did better, because that's the prime of your career. Yes.
Yeah. So
but no, I do think somebody needs to like give us some
and
feedback
to be
on-
fair, Andrew never asked. Andrew was always, very.
Andrew might have asked, but you just took. I think you.
No, he didn't. Andrew was such a well-mannered, diligent child.
Yes, like I'm saying, but you just took things. You didn't ask.
And he was
you
very.
just took.
No, I would just nag. I would be
You're just like me, Mark. My mum, I used to make a presentation for something. Do you know what I mean? And I
we
would
used to
not
leave the
stop
house and
talking
they'd be like,
about
"Dad, please, can you
just
buy
like
me
you would
some
rip your
chocolate?"
tyres and so your bike wouldn't work, so you couldn't cycle
I wouldn't
to school.
rip them.
I picked
would
out my
just-
SIM card part of my back of my phone to get a new phone. I cut the bottom of my rucksack completely with scissors, and then my mum actually turned around and I was like, I need a new school bag. My school bag's broken. I want a cool side bag. My mum stitched it fucking back up. And then I had to go to school with a fucking stitched up rucksack. Do you know what I mean? What a loser. Anyway, that's going to teach you a lesson.
No, you weren't a loser.
I did everything to always get the best. Do you know what I mean? Everything. Shame I didn't replicate that with my husband. You are. This is like couples therapy once a week.
Can you tell everybody how I've cooked for the last week?
I forgot. We did distract from the subject. We'll end today talking about the fact that Mark has consistently cooked probably about 4 days.
7.
You're
Your spatial
exaggerating
awareness.
Again, Mark. I don't think you've cooked for 7 days. Can you remember how many times? Sorry?
You've got Alzheimer's. You'd like to think that you remember everything.
You've got no spatial awareness. You've got no fucking understanding.
Your memory is like a sieve.
My memory is like a sieve.
A sieve.
A sieve. Okay, right. Okay, when Mark wakes up in the morning, what have I got to do today?
It's so bad.
Literally, you like,
so
I pretty
bad.
much am Mark's diary. Like, if I don't
Oh,
remember, Mark's
it's
most
so
certainly not going
bad.
to remember. So
I
please
don't know
don't say
what
that
it
I'm like a
is.
sieve.
Yeah, no.
Mark has cooked for about 4 to 5 days at max,
Oh, now
not
it's changed
7.
4 to 5.
You've cooked burgers. You've cooked Greek bowls.
I love how when you say it, you make me sound like I'm literally
I said I've got a
special
lot of
needs.
faith in Mark cooking. The
Yeah.
only thing I don't have much faith in is his combination of flavours. I said that. I'm not sure you understand a palate other than tomato ketchup or excessive salt. Mark literally went to clear up the surface and he said, oh my God, it's really bad. And the whole of the surface was crystallised.
Yeah,
He'd
it was
like
bad.
salted literally the granite of the fucking
Yeah,
mouth. Like
it
literally, it was
does,
just like
yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, excessive salting. And I would say, you don't understand a combination.
You don't
of
say
taste.
that. Don't say that.
Mark, I'll bring
You've
you back to
never-
that one time.
The
that
one
you
time
used to
I
do
wrote
nutritional plans
the
for clients,
literally the
and
only
you put
time.
together coriander potatoes.
The only
Like,
time.
what
The
fuck?
only time that
No.
I have displayed any perverse indication towards my taste buds was that one time, and you literally have laser focused onto that and
I see it all the time.
driven that narrative for about
I
9
made a pad
years.
thai and Mark put mayonnaise on it. I made a fucking pad thai, and you want to
Yeah.
move to Thailand?
Yeah.
You're putting mayo on a pad thai. I was
Excuse me.
so offended.
Excuse
Mark will
me,
have
please can I have some
Chinese food with
mayonnaise?
ketchup. Like, it's like you literally have ketchup with a roast. Do you know
Yeah,
what
so?
I mean? Beautiful fillet steak, ketchup. Like, it
Yes.
ruins it within seconds. So I don't trust your taste buds. You've only
Yeah, but
just
that doesn't
experimented
mean-
cheese in the last 5 years of your life.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I can't cook though.
As I said, I didn't say that your cooking was not up to scratch. I'm saying your combinations of flavours are questionable.
I haven't even begun to explore that though, so how can you say that?
Because you keep on asking me what to make. So if you had the conscious to put a meal together, then you could. But at the moment, it's a protein, a carb.
So are you
and a
trying to say
fucking
that I
veg.
can't? I've got the
I don't know.
the free
I-
reign to cook up anything.
No, I don't think you've got the free reign just yet, because I feel like
I want to make your traditional
sadza.
sadza nenyama.
Yeah. No, and no again. No.
No,
No
sadza.
sadza.
No
Did you
zadza.
actually like sadza?
There was a time and a place for it.
Like when your dad made me what I thought was a corn on the cob and it was a millie. Oh my God, I was so disappointed. The taste of that is disgusting. I thought it was this lovely sweet corn on the cob. And to put it into context, when we went to Zimbabwe, like Mark's mum and dad like have a weird, like they literally eat like one meal a day, like literally 1 meal a day. They have done that for years.
Yeah,
And so
pretty
when we went to Zimbabwe, who obviously we eat quite a lot on a day-to-day basis, like we were a bit like, okay, fuck, like we're quite hungry. So when your dad was like, oh, I'll make a millie for you, I was like, oh, cool, sweet corn, fuck yeah. And then I was like, oh my God, what is this?
Actual
Like,
corn.
It's actual corn, yeah. If you haven't tried it, then I guess you wouldn't know. But
Yeah.
it doesn't taste like sweet corn, that's for certain. Definitely
Yeah.
not a bird's eye.
Yeah, chibage.
What?
Chibage.
Is that the thing
Yeah.
that's got the shit on the millie?
No, chibage is corn.
But you put stuff on the corn.
No, it's just
That's-
strange. It's
What's a
bage.
millie?
Millie is
Millie.
just that's the colloquial. Well, that's like if you're a Shona, you call it chibage, and if it's
Sorry, can you speak in another language for me?
yeah, I can speak bits of Shona.
Do you
if
want?
want.
Can we end with some Shona? Can
I
Mark
can't
say a
say.
sentence?
I can't say sentences.
Oh, okay. So you just said that you could speak
No, I
a few
can't.
words.
I
Can you
just
put
know.
those
I
words together?
understand the words.
Why don't you say
more
every
than-
word you know in Shona?
Jeez. Okay. Really.
Here we go. Right, it's just to end everyone. We haven't really got round to much, but
Oh,
here we
there's
go.
so many. I'm just trying to think
Just
now.
trying to
Like, just
remember
say some
Biling-
words, and I'll see if I know the
Corn.
words. Chibage.
Hello.
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 Mascati.
Oh. What?
Mascati.
Biscotti.
Mascati.
Why do you sound like you're Arab? Mascati.
Yeah, mascati. It says, hello, how are you? Mascati.
Sorry.
Sorry, mascati, masquera say.
Sorry, did you just make that up?
No,
Should we
it's
get Google
not.
out?
Yeah. Hello, how are you?
Magagi Zimbabwe.
Mascati, masquera say.
Okay. Mugabe.
Bad.
Not bad. Like,
Dog, imbwa.
what does
Cat, katsi.
cats?
Yeah.
Oi, hey, Catsy.
Yeah.
What about footsack?
Futsa, go away.
Go away. Oh, is
Yeah.
that what it means?
Yeah, futsack or fuck off.
Footsack's not strong enough for fuck off.
Futsack.
What about hate you?
No.
No.
Hit is bata.
Well, no, that's not hate though, is it? That's
Yeah.
hit.
So
And Mark's
hate,
trying
I
to-
don't know.
he
I don't
doesn't
know what
that.
hate is.
Can you say goodbye?
Gee, I should know that. Hold on, give me
Au
a second.
revoir.
Not au revoir. It's
Obviously not. That's French.
oh, jeez. I don't even know. I can't remember. I'm so
Okay, so
embarrassed.
how many words do we actually know in Shona?
My favorite word in
Zimbabwe.
my favorite word in Shona is motorcycle,
Oh God.
which is mudududu.
You're so proud of yourself. And I think we should end with that.
Yeah.
Madududu.
Mudududu.
Speak to you later. Goodbye.
Bye.